Episode 11.
Episode 11.
We made it.
We made it.
We still came back.
We're back.
So after 10, it just...
It's up from here.
And it's stuck.
It's up and it's stuck. Episode 10 was epic for us. We had our first guest. So we were able to learn how to have a guest on and make it sound good.
Shout out to Cindy.
Shout out to Cindy from Zero Base Budget. If you have not watched or listened to episode 10, I highly suggest it. Especially if you're looking for a way to start your financial freedom journey, or if you're looking to start saving money, if you're looking into just getting a handle on your finances in general while also building a community, I highly suggest you listen to episode 10. So yeah, thank you again to Cindy of Zero Base Budget.
Yes, sir.
How was your week, babe?
It was a good week. I'm never going to come on here and say it was a terrible week. I hope not. Yeah. Short, working.
We forgot to introduce ourselves again.
Oh, yeah. I'm Travis.
I'm Stephanie.
At Trav You Nerds.
And I'm with the works on Instagram. And we still like each other.
That's new. But yeah. So I'm working from home 2 days a week now.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
So now that you're a stay-at-home mom officially, it'll be nice to have those 2 days home with you and the children.
Yeah.
The children to come.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like saying I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm also an entrepreneur. So let's not forget that.
Okay.
I do have my own tutoring business. So okay. I'm not, nothing against stay-at-home moms. Like, trust me, being a stay-at-home mom is tough. But I don't want to knock off.
Yeah. There's definitely, you are bringing in income, actual money. Mm-hmm. You're not just providing services for this family. And not saying that.
And those services are valuable.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah, we are going to get into that.
But how's your week been?
My week has been good. I feel like it flew by. What has happened this week that's interesting? Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I just feel like after that conversation with Cindy, it's just like a lot of like self-reflection and just, for me, I took a lot from that, more than I thought I was. We kind of briefly spoke about it in the beginning of the episode, but we were saying how, becoming debt-free was this big goal that we wanted to hit. And then once we hit it, it was just like we had no direction. And it kind of shows me the way I feel some other people may or may not live, because it's like you don't have debt, but then you're not doing anything else outside of that.
Planning for the
future. It's like, yeah, I don't have any credit card debt. Are you crazy? Mm-hmm. But then it's like, okay. All right, so what's your end game look like? Mm-hmm. What's retirement look like? What's your portfolio look like?
Yeah.
So I now know, especially after that conversation, there's more to life than just saying I don't have debt.
Yeah.
You have to add something to that.
Yeah, definitely. And technically now we have debt again because of the car, and catching up on just some spending from the summertime that we have to get rid of. And it is very eye-opening. You know what else happened this week, which is why we've been home and haven't done anything? The hurricane.
Oh, was it Ida?
Ida, I think.
Ida. And
it's insane because the week before, we got all of these alerts, these shelter ins, remove everything off your balcony.
Our was it the management company for this building was sending us emails. I feel like a few.
Yeah.
It was like, make sure your balconies are empty. So I even went as far, or they were saying just make sure everything's secure. But I went as far as bringing everything inside. And I think we got a little rain.
Yeah, and we were hitting up our friends, like, you have enough food for the weekend at least? And nothing happened. And then just out of nowhere, this was actually the night we filmed with Cindy.
Wednesday.
It was Wednesday on September 1st. It was raining hard, but we didn't think much of it.
I didn't even have the furniture with the covers.
Yeah.
So by the time we noticed it was raining hard, I couldn't go outside without getting soaked.
Pouring. And then New York went to shit again.
And I don't even feel like we fully got the scope of was going on until the following day, or maybe through social media.
Yeah, the next day.
Or you have a friend, or we have a friend who lives in a basement apartment, and they had like a couple inches of water, and they were sending you videos
of them. Yep, water all at the bottom.
It looked like
of
a
the
kiddie
apartment.
pool.
And compared to what other people got, that was even nothing. It was insane.
Yeah, very scary.
Yeah, people's lives have been totally uprooted. A few, maybe I think like over 20 people lost their lives between Jersey and New York, which was.
And you hope that everyone has their ducks in a row as far as insurance, but who the hell wants to deal with that? You know, like, oh, I have insurance, but there's a big ass hole in my house. You know, and even seeing all that with homes, we kind of looked at each other like, are we sure we want to?
Ready for a house right now?
And there's a lot more research than just saying, I like this house, it looks good, because then you have to say, all right, is it on a hill?
Are there rivers nearby that could flood my whole shit?
Yeah, it's definitely an eye opener.
Oh my God. I see a lot of New Yorkers who have houses and collecting insurance money and just leaving. Probably like using that money to buy an amazing house somewhere else that's more affordable.
Well, you have a friend in Ohio, right?
Misha. We were like, oh my God, these house prices are insane. But yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it. I mean, one of the highlights of the week was The Boy.
Champagne Poppy.
Young Angel. He dropped Certified Lover Boy.
Yes.
And the plan was for us to
stay up till midnight.
And then I think I was dozing off, and then I was like, let's just listen to it in the room. It was like 11 something, brushing our teeth. And then you start brushing your teeth, and I'm like, he just said it's going to be at 2 a.m.
Yeah, he posted at 2 a.m. I was like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah. Apparently he dropped it a little earlier, but still, I would have been knocked
out. Even trying to listen to it, we were sleeping. Yeah. It was over.
So, but next morning, first thing, got our coffee and put it on, and he can't miss, man.
He didn't disappoint.
Didn't disappoint.
I honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, I needed a little more ass shakers.
Okay.
It's a good album. The songs are solid. I have like a handful of ones that I know I'll play over and over. But I like a turn up song.
Okay.
So I feel like I wish he had a little bit more of that. Like
you know me, I feel like the older I get, the more I'm into like the smooth sounds, the R&B ish. You know, I still love hip hop, but you know, I'm not with the.
Nah, I needed a couple like Can't Take a Joke, like those type of songs in there.
Shout out to your friend or our friend Nia. Her husband said her husband said this album makes me want to break up with you
and get back together.
And then 2 tracks later, he was like, "No, we can get back together." But it is something to say about like having heartbreak. Listening to your favorite song or listening to a whole album. I can't wait because we have to go out tomorrow. I want to hear how it sounds in the car. That's a different experience.
Well, that's all we've listened. I don't think I've heard another artist here in the past 2 days.
I gave Donda a try. It's a good try.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care for Kanye in general.
Well, back to The Boy.
Yeah, we were talking about Certified Lover Boy. So what would you say is your favorite track so far?
Oh man, that's tough. I like the intro a lot.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the track list now.
I do not know names yet.
So the intro, Champagne Poetry, that's the one that
Poetry.
goes, I love you, I love you,
I do like a song that he's not even on. The what's her name? Yems?
Thames? No, he's on it.
No, it says Drake and Thames, but it's just her singing.
Oh, I thought he was on it.
It's kind of like an interlude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never heard of her before, but apparently she's pretty popular.
The Yeba girl? Is that the girl that you were saying? We were like, oh, she's a white girl.
No, not Thames. Yeba.
Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
See? I knew I wasn't bugging.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, that one is really good, too.
Yeah.
But Thames, I love.
Yeah.
She's the girl who's on the Essence song.
I like the song, but it kind of, I don't know. They all kind of they sound alike. That,
What do you mean?
What's that genre called?
Like Afrobeats?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh God, here we go.
That's I don't feel like they push the genre forward with that song. Listen, if I'm gonna be
no, not with the song. I was just happy to see her on.
Oh yeah.
Because
That's
I feel like
look.
it's a good look for her, and like women in any genre of music get left behind, you know? So I kind of that song that's really big that she's featured on, it's a male artist song. Mm-hmm. But I feel like she's the best part of the song. So the fact that she was featured on it, I was kind of like proud of her in that moment, you know? And her own album is really good. I listened to it because of hearing her on that Essence song. I was like, I really like her sound. And I downloaded her album and it has some hits. I feel like I could listen to it. It's only like 6 songs, probably a mixtape, but I could listen to all of them. It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and our picture.
Oh yeah. So I had the idea without even telling her, and then telling you, and then once you saw it, you're like, wait, we got to do it better than that. Because my original plan was just to take a picture of you, and
so we're talking about the album cover.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put a picture of the album cover here.
Okay.
And then
your idea was what?
So my idea was to just put your head on all of the emojis.
Whack, I fixed his idea.
Then you said, no, we got to step it up. Let's take an actual picture. I am pregnant.
I was like, I'm pregnant. Well, why would we Photoshop my face on a pregnant emoji? Like, I'm literally pregnant. Let's put my body there.
So we took a few pictures, got the best one, and I got to work, and very happy with how it came out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it went viral, but I feel like amongst the people who follow us,
they got a lot of love on it.
Yeah, definitely.
It took him a long time to do it. So if you want your own certified lover boy cover, we are taking orders. We're starting at $100. No, but it was really cute. That would be like a highlight of our week.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow us on Instagram,
we're at We Still
Like Each Other.
I will say it would be cool to look back on.
Yeah, definitely.
Once River's here, it'll be like, oh, look
what we did for Drake. Drake will probably still be lit when River's like 10 because he like don't miss.
Yeah.
The first song Eli danced to as a baby, like that he like moved his body to, was 0 to 100. Like that was the first song he was like moving up. So it's so funny. It's like full circle. And because we're taking this pay cut, we've kind of been on the fence about like doing a maternity shoot and those types of things because it's not really worth the money and considering our circumstances right now. So doing those little things like doing that edit of the Drake cover, I think is really cool. It's like our own version of having maternity memories.
I think I'm going to frame it, get it framed in one of like a color like that.
Oh, that'll be cute to have in our background back here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, coming soon. All right. So, do you want to tell us about the Dr. Dre thing?
Yeah, just briefly. So, I'm sure you've all heard, if you haven't, Dr. Dre and his soon-to-be ex-wife are getting a divorce. They've been married a long time. I want to say over 20 years. Definitely before he was a billionaire. But the news here is that now they still have their ongoing divorce battle, but he is in the process of suing her for embezzling about $350,000 from a business bank.
Embezzling, quote unquote.
So, they're married and her name was on the account.
Her name is on the account.
So it may not be cool, but it's definitely legal.
Yeah. So, like maybe they didn't have an agreement and she took the money, but to sue her and accuse her of embezzling money on an account that was hers is petty. And I feel like he's just trying to like drag out the process.
I think you all may be surprised for my take on this. I'm not going to battle with Steph on this one. I feel that obviously I cannot imagine having that much money. I can hope to come 1% close in my lifetime of how much money Dr. Dre has accumulated in his lifetime or in his life at this moment. With that being said, you've made so much money. You're going to continue to make so much money. This isn't someone you met and they got to come up on you. You were with her when you had nothing. You and you built this empire.
Mm-hmm.
And some may say she was a part of it
Mm-hmm.
because you provide a service to me even when I'm not with you. You bring me peace. You curate our home. There's a lot of things you do that make what I do easier.
Yeah. So even if I don't have a hand literally in what you're building, you're able to do it with such ease because so many other aspects of your life are taken care of.
Exactly. And for what you do for me, it's kind of on a smaller scale. I'm not a business owner. I'm not just, hardworking guy, whatever. So I'm sure what she was doing for him on that journey.
And their kids.
Exactly. Is something way different.
Mm-hmm.
So I say all that to say, you're not going to, the check you may have to cut for this to be over is not going to make you broke. You're not going to be wondering where your next meal is from. You're going to be able to live an amazing life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're Dr. Dre.
You're going to keep making money.
Money's going to keep coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
So be done with it. Cut the check. For whatever reason, it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But I get that machismo, that male ego.
Oh, women trying to just take my money.
This isn't that case of a woman. Don't get me wrong. There are women like that.
Yeah. Or
there
people.
Are people like that.
People like that.
That see dollar signs and now they're in love.
But they were married for years.
Exactly. This isn't that. And
the lawsuit is over $300,000. When I think about, that's a lot of money for us. But the magnitude of Dr. Dre's money, that's like if you're suing me for $300, I think.
And I might be pushing it.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe $30. Like, I just don't get the point.
Well, like I was saying to you, it's just he's being petty at this point.
Yeah.
It's not about the $350,000. It's because now she has to come to court. She has to deal with
the
this.
Optics.
She has to pay lawyer fees. The optics.
Yeah, because now it's like she's an embezzler of money.
Exactly.
And
so now this
calling
case
her.
will be like in the divorce case. I'm sure this case will be referenced. You understand? So it's just, I'm sure if it's not even Dr. Dre. It's his lawyer.
His team.
We got okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And, money talks. So he's signing the check. So they're going to do as he says. But obviously Dr. Dre will never hear this. But my advice to any man or any person dealing with something like this, we all know what a gold digger looks like. And if you didn't marry one and if things unfortunately do not work out, just
cut the check.
Do us no. Wait. Not cut the check. Just do what's right.
Yeah, and cut the check. I'm sure what's right involves cutting a check.
I don't like the way you phrase that, but I cut the check.
Why? Because it makes me sound like a gold digger for just wanting what's mine.
You gonna take all my Jordans?
Yo. Anyway.
What?
I feel like this is a good segue into our next topic, which is about so it was the first of the month, so I had put like, rent is due today, and New York City rent, I like cringe every time we have to pay it. And then I put a poll about how couples split rent. So either 50-50, a percentage based on pay, right? So like if our total income, he makes 70% of the household income and I make 30%, he will pay 70% of the rent and I would only pay 30% of the rent. Or whoever takes up more space. So for example, that would be like if I work from home and I have a home office, would I pay more because I have a whole extra room? Which I'm iffy about. I don't like that idea.
I think what comes into play is, are you married? Do you have children? What's your goals here as far as longevity?
And how much money you both make.
Because
if you made, let's say, 80% of the household income and you had an office, you're probably going to pay 80% of the rent, but it's because of how much money you make too. I feel like if we make an equal amount, but you need a home office, it's kind of like I'm going to need transportation for work. Like it's just kind of an expense that's mutual. But I guess it all depends. Like there's so many nuances. Like it depends, right? Yeah. And for example, when we met, I had Eli but he was a baby and you like merged into our life. But what if you said, well, we need a 2-bedroom because you have a kid, so you got to pay more? Like, imagine that. I would be like, what the fuck?
You'd have been like, it was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Peace. But, you know, I guess it all depends. Maybe that works for some people. And then the last one was what? I forgot. Oh, one partner just pays because you're either a stay-at-home parent or your partner just makes significantly more money than you.
Okay.
So overwhelmingly, the response was 50-50, right? And knowing me, babe, that worries me a lot. Only because I know that we're still at a place where, especially in heterosexual couples or in couples that have heteronormative roles, that the female ends up with more responsibility within the household in general, right? Like more cooking, more cleaning, more child rearing, just scheduling all of your appointments, making sure there's toilet paper, making sure there's food in the fridge, all of these types of things that are labor at the end of the day, right?
That we rarely put a price on.
Yeah, but like if we hired someone to do all of these things for us, we need an assistant, we need a housekeeper, you need a personal chef. You know, if you serviced out your laundry, like these are all things that are acts of service, but if we outsource them, cost a lot of money. Like I remember reading an article, like a lot of people can't afford for their spouse to work. It's more affordable to have one less income than to outsource all of the things, you know? Yeah. So when we think about splitting rent 50-50, that's one thing. It's like a dollar amount. Okay, seems simple enough. But are we factoring in everything else that one partner might provide more than the other? And it's not always the woman or the male. I'm just speaking in general in terms of the norm, especially in our society. But are we discussing that?
Definitely not. Yeah. It's tough because we don't do it that way. So I've never imagined doing it any other type of way. I can't imagine. For one, I can't even imagine, oh, I have my money, you have your money.
Yeah.
I'm not with it. Just because we've been doing it so long, I kind of like it. And I especially like it now that we're on this financial journey again, I guess. So if we were on this journey, but we're doing our finances separate, it wouldn't feel good at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The thing with that is, yeah, the partner or someone's cleaning and doing all these things, but I don't do these things to say, all right, I'm bringing value to the relationship. So how do you put a price on that?
Okay, so that's another point that came up. Someone was like, but wait, if we're splitting cooking 50-50 and cleaning 50-50 and this 50-50, it starts to feel like you're roommates, right? But I don't mean literally splitting everything down the line, right? But maybe one of you is the better cook. So that just means the other one has to be better at cleaning. Even if you're not, you have to pick up that slack, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we could speak for us.
In our relationship.
Not obviously. You are the better cooker. And I sucked at cleaning. Terrible cleaner.
So I'm like, you can't not cook and not clean. So
I had to get it together. And you might be asking yourself, how can someone suck at cleaning? It's possible. And you know, trial and error, I got better. And it's just unspoken between us. You cook and I'm right behind you cleaning, dishwasher, garbage, whatever the case is. Yeah. And it works for us. And if it were vice versa, I'm sure, I hope you would
clean.
Yeah.
I wish you would cook. I love cooking. I enjoy it. I just feel like cooking, especially like during the pandemic when we're home 24/7 for like 4 months straight. I was cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm like, sometimes I just don't feel like it, and I wish you could step in.
And I was washing so many dishes that my fingers were just like deteriorating.
Yeah, because we weren't eating takeout. It was literally cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for months.
But yeah, I do like I feel like I could survive, but not. It's just not healthy shit. It's just like hot dogs.
I feel like at this point, like I've learned that like that's just a battle I'm not gonna win with you. And I try to keep things in the house that he could quickly make for us, like frozen pizza, hot dogs, Velveeta.
All right, stop giving away all my secrets here. Okay?
I think like that's pretty much it.
I got a few more in the tuck, but enough about me.
But my point is that sometimes you kind of gotta realize when that's just not your partner, right? Because for a while it was a battle of me saying, I love cooking, I do, but in those moments where I'm too busy or I'm too tired or I'm just not in the mood, I'd like for you to be able to make something for us that isn't ordering McDonald's or ordering Popeyes or whatever. That wasn't working. So I was like, we need to just keep things in the house that we can eat that don't consist of heavy cooking. And you got better at cleaning. So I got one. I got one of them. So I'm totally okay with that. And another thing in a relationship that we tend to not put a price on is like emotional support. If one of you're going to notice when one person has a heavier burden in terms of helping you stay emotionally regulated, dealing with maybe the stressors you have from work or your family or just yourself, mental health issues.
A lot of people end up becoming like mini therapists for their partner. And I don't think we're above that. Like we both sit down with one another and kind of just lay it out.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, what's your advice? Please, your medical advice.
And we have to be aware when we might be taking up too much of an emotional toll on our partner. As much as they love us and they want the best for us, at times we have to, like I've noticed, I've had friends who say like, I need to vent. Do you have the energy right now to hear me vent?
Which is very respectful.
And I feel like we could learn from that in relationships, right? Like, how are you doing? I need to tell you, but do you have a moment, We have to kind of remember that we're individuals and we can't just drop everything at the drop of a hat because you're going through something. We try our best, but we also have to be mindful of each other's mental space as well.
And I also feel it's kind of a double-edged sword because I also feel that you could potentially coddle your partner too much and where you're kind of putting like a Band-Aid on a situation, maybe something very serious that they need professional help with, but you're just like, it's going to be okay. This is normal. Fuck those people. You're the special one. And then you're like creating something that will potentially get worse.
AKA know when to call your partner out on their bullshit, like just like we have to not be narcissistic and notice when we're wrong. When our partners are wrong, we have to be able to tell them that.
And that's one of the things, like you'll hear me praise Stephanie here a lot.
Okay, what are you about to say?
But I do feel that you don't just let me get away with shit, and I mean with even other people. You're quick to say, no, that was wrong. You shouldn't have done it that way. I think you should have done it this way. Matter of fact, why don't you go and try doing it again? And I appreciate that.
I feel like that I've done that with like things with Eli, like parenting wise.
I honestly wasn't even thinking about parenting, but yeah, that's a good point. Definitely with parenting, 'cause we spoke about that, about me having to go to apologize to Eli for things I could have handled better. But I'm even talking about like maybe work-wise, friendships, family. You hold me accountable. And I feel that a lot of people lack that from their partner. It's just, oh, you did that? Oh, that's crazy. Click back to watching TV.
Or they might feel like it was
exactly,
wrong.
And that's even worse.
But you know what it is though? You make me feel safe that I could do that, Like you take the advice I give you and the criticism I give you, you know. And sometimes I'm not right. Sometimes you're like, wait, think about it this way. You know, it's not like I know it all. And
yeah. It's not a case of she tells me to do something like, oh, that's 100% right.
Yeah.
Wait, how do I spell that? Okay, I'm going to say it exactly how you said it.
But we have open dialogue.
Exactly.
And we could talk about it before we make a decision. Like even I remember there was a time where you didn't like something a coworker said, and then you kind of talked about it with me, and I was like, well, could it be this or that? And we kind of decided together what the next move would be.
Yeah. I remember that.
You remember it?
I was hot. And before I did anything, went outside, called you. And this doesn't happen ever.
Yeah, no.
I mean, not with work, at least.
Yeah, he has a cool work environment.
So the fact that it happened, I was like, oh, shit.
And it takes a lot for him, especially with work. He's very like, leave it at work. It doesn't stress him. I'm more of a like, bring it home. So for you to call me from work, you were like, heated.
I didn't ask permission to dump on you, so I apologize.
No, it was fine.
But yeah, that was one of those moments. It's like, hey, this is what happened. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I want to do. And what do you think? So you're like, all right, unball your fist. And you talked me through it. And I took some of what you said, not everything, and came up with what I thought was a good plan and went through with it. And things worked out. I felt better once I went through with it. And yeah, so that was just an example of how, you hold it down for me. So thank you.
You're welcome. You hold it down for me too, babe. All right. So then that discussion about like how people split rent led to asking about bank accounts, right? Like sharing bank accounts or split bank accounts. And I heard about the hybrid method, which we technically have a hybrid method, but we don't really use it. So hybrid method is when you have one shared account, but then you each have your own accounts that you kind of just have separate. So everybody, like, so for example, my money will come to my account, your money will go to your account, and then we send money to the shared account for like bills.
I think it's funny because, she'll get paid, or when you were still on with your previous employer. And then by the time you check your account, all the money's out.
Out, because he already took it.
I already took it.
To pay bills and
to pay
stuff.
bills. I'll log in and just send it to our shared
account.
And then,
he leaves me like spending money.
Like, here's $20 to get that.
But yeah, so hybrid method. And so when I asked about the 50-50, this one was not 50-50 about separate bank accounts. This one was split 50-50 in the poll. So it was like almost dead even in the middle. So most, like half of the people shared an account, half of the people had their own accounts. And again, I think it just depends. It works differently for different people. I would say for safety as a woman, but anybody, honestly, it's good, like, even if you don't have your own bank account, having like a credit card or like something, like some type of way, like you never want to just not have access to funds, right? Because your partner, if something happens to them in a moment and you have an emergency, you need to reach them and you can't call an Uber or you can't rent a car or you can't take an expensive taxi to go somewhere, like, always having access to your own funds in a way is very important. Or in the worst case scenario, for safety, like if you have to go stay at a hotel one night, and if it's for safety, you want to have a card that your partner cannot track. So every relationship is different. I don't feel the need to have something like that, but if you're in that type of relationship.
Okay, I hear you. But do you kind of feel that's kind of putting like a dark cloud over a situation that may never happen? Because you're saying have this safety net for if maybe one night you get into a bad argument and you have to leave. But isn't that kind of I'm all about energy. If you're putting that negative energy out there, aren't you potentially asking for that situation to happen?
No, because what I said, you see the red flags. I say have that safety net in the beginning of every relationship. Because you don't know anyone fully in the very beginning. Then you decide for yourself if you need to maintain that, right? And like I said, you'll know. there'll be a red flag. There'll be something there, that pit in your stomach, that gut feeling that's there. That doesn't mean you're bringing negative energy. That just means you're being a little cautious.
When I was first moving in with you, there were family who would tell me to make sure you're saving your money just in case you gotta book it. I did a terrible job at saving, and luckily it worked out. But I guess I get it, especially like you said. You don't know anyone 100%, no matter.
And you have moved into an apartment that I had, so it's true. That's advice that makes sense in the beginning.
Get out, nigga.
Yeah. You never know. And I've heard situations. I've recently had a friend tell me that her partner kicked her out of their apartment, like it was years ago, but I'm just hearing about the story. So it happens, I
find it funny when anyone gets kicked out of something you two
built
together, or maybe rented together, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, who gets to make that decision? It's usually the woman. I guess I guess it depends on what happened.
Yeah.
Because if you did some foul shit, I'll be like, get out me and my son's apartment. Give me the baby.
It's so funny, but we've always said, like, if we break up, God forbid, no, I love you. I hate even saying it. But I always say, you keeping Eli. And now it's like, you keeping the kids.
hot girl summer.
Right? If it don't work out, I need to go live my best life. Single. I'll still be a mom, but you got to take them
on the weekend.
But yeah. All right. So what's next on the list? I think we covered everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about the 50-50, about shared bank accounts. We spoke about Dr. Dre and our week. So we're all done.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I think now that we have we have a better schedule, I want to start cranking these out maybe twice a week. I don't know I don't want to say what that second day will be because it puts pressure on us. But I think we can do it. Yeah. How you feel?
We need more guests. Who do you think we should have on next? I really liked having guests. I want to have a couple on.
I want to have an OnlyFans worker on.
Ooh, a sex worker.
Yeah. I figure it'd probably be easier to get an OnlyFans worker.
Ooh.
Like we know one, but I don't know if they want to talk about, what they do.
Ooh.
The friend's sister. The one that be squirting all over.
Yeah, no. But I don't know her. Like, I've never spoken to her. Like, I don't want to.
Well, if you know
it needs to be someone who's going to feel comfortable on the camera, who's going to feel comfortable talking openly about everything the way we talk about things. So it can't just be someone we randomly know. Like, it has to be someone we feel has some presence on the microphone and the camera, Yeah,
we're gonna think about it, but if you have any ideas,
we want to hear from a sex worker. We want to hear from couples, especially if you listen to our episodes and y'all have had like debates about stuff we talk about. Definitely want to hear it.
And even if it's a quick drop in, you don't have to say you're gonna stay for an hour.
The whole hour.
We'll work our magic.
Definitely.
But yeah.
All right, we're all done.
Baby.
Yes, Daddy.
Do you still like me?
I still like you.
Love you.
Love you more.